Okay, Miss Stein, we're all done with your hearing test and are ready to go over your results. So, we did split up today's testing into three different parts. For the first part of the test, we just took a look in your ears and took some measurements. When we looked in your ear, we did see that we had clear canals, and we were able to see that your eardrums look great. We were able to see all the landmarks you want to, and shows that there's nothing obstructing your eardrums, and everything looked great in order to proceed. So within that, we also did something called a tympanogram. This was just taking a look at how your eardrums are moving. So this is where we placed a probe in both your ears, and you felt a little bit of pressure. So everything did look great. It was within all the number levels we wanted to see, and we're able to get something called a type A tympanogram for both ears, which just means that we were able to see a peak drawn when this was being tested. That shows us that everything looks normal and everything looks great with your eardrums. From here, we did move into the next portion, which was taking something called an acoustic reflex. We did that for both ears, where we kept that probe, and you were able to hear kind of a buzzing sound, and it did increase in volume. Everything looks great. Usually you want to see it within about 75 to 95, and that's within those numbers we received for both ears, which just tells us that everything within your auditory system is moving and functioning how we want it to. From there, we did move on to something called an otoacoustic emission, which just looks a little bit further within your hearing system and just measures how the hair cells are moving within your inner ear. We did see that they were present, and we did see movement at most frequencies except for two. So this just means that maybe the hair cells weren't moving exactly how we want them to at those specific frequencies, but overall everything looks great. From here, we were able to proceed into that second part of the test, which was the hearing test. And this is where we placed the headphones in your ear, and we're able to give you a button so that you can tell us the lowest tone that you were able to hear. The great thing about this is that we were actually able to place your results on this graph called an audiogram. So here on this audiogram, we do start off here at lower frequencies here towards the right, and move towards higher frequencies towards the left. So kind of think of it as you're hearing more so like a tuba sound here in the lower frequencies, and going up to like a flute sound here in the higher frequencies. As we're going up in our frequencies, we're also actually going up in volume. So every time that we were presenting the tone, we're doing it at different volume levels, and it just got softer and softer. So everything you see here, these circles, or what you see in red, represents your right ear, and everything you see in the X's or the blue represents your left ear. So every point you see here was the softest sound that you were able to hear, and this gray shaded area just shows us that that is what's considered normal hearing levels. As you can see, all your results were here within those normal levels. Something just to confirm how you're hearing, we also put something called a bone oscillator, which was just a headband that sat behind your ear. For this part, we were just bypassing more so kind of your ear canal, and just double checking how your nerve is listening and how everything looks. So we see here that is also represented here by those arrows, and everything is within normal limits as well, and very proportional with those results that you heard for those tones. So in regards to your hearing, everything looks great, and is considered within normal limits. Something just to confirm your hearing, we also did do the third part of the test, which is the speech portion. This is where you were able to repeat back certain words, where we were presented words like cowboy or airplane, and you were able to notice that we were also getting softer in sound. You did score 15 for both ears, which just shows us that everything sounds great. We also did something called word recognition, this is where you heard a recorded voice tell you, say the word loud, say the word cart. So words like that, we did present it at a set volume in proportion with how you were hearing, and you did receive a score of 100 for both ears. So that just shows us that your hearing levels are pretty normal, and that your speech perception and how you're hearing speech looks great as well. So everything overall looks good in regards to your hearing. My recommendation is to return for about a hearing test every 1 to 2 years, just to double check that everything's looking good. We now have a baseline to go off of. So if you ever notice that there's any change in your hearing, if you're noticing you're having a harder time with anything regarding your hearing, please let us know, and just know that you can come in sooner than that 1 or 2 year mark. But overall, everything looks great so far. So from here, we can just go ahead and get you scheduled for about 1 year from now. And in case of anything, please let us know. We can schedule you sooner. All right, but you're all set for today, and have a great day.